Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Cameron Fields here, and I'm really doing this video, and I'm calling it Growing Your Business, Not Your Workload, Putting Your Business on Autopilot. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because I know there's a lot of new people that are starting their Myecon business, and they really don't know what to do, where to start. So what I'm going to show you, or what you're going to learn in this video, is you're going to learn the 4 major keys. Step by step, I'm going to go through what you have to do in order to actually have success. Now, and I want you guys to keep this in mind, that this is not for everyone. This is somewhat advanced, but somewhat kind of like, newbie friendly, if I can say that. But I'm really trying to, help you guys out so that you guys can know where to start and what to do. And I know we have awesome leaders that out there. There's some awesome trainings. Alfredo did one yesterday that was off the chain. So, I mean, I'm just trying to add in my little 2 cents to help you guys to be able to understand, what to do as far as marketing your business and where to start. So, key number 1 is creating a strategy. Now, if you're not clear or sure what a strategy is, basically it's just where you are and where you want to go, and then having a process, creating a process to get to your end destination. Now, the reason why I say this is key is simply because without having a strategy and a process in place, it's dangerous, right? Because you will just be doing a bunch of random stuff, and you will eventually get frustrated and ultimately quit, right? And we don't want that, right? So having a process in place, a strategy, having your goals set, and having a process of how you're going to achieve that goal is very important, okay? Now, if you're working a 9 to 5, I have this where I call count your monthly cost. This is important. And I teach people this as well, is, when you first starting off and you having a 9 to 5, your ultimate goal really is to have financial freedom, right? So you want to basically get out of a 9 to 5. But if you don't know what you have to actually make to get out of the 9 to 5, it's going to be tough for you to do it, right? So what you could do, and this is a worksheet. If you guys want the worksheet, just inbox me. I'll send it to you. Or you can just write this out on a piece of paper. But the most important thing is the numbers, so that's really most important. So really quick, I'm just going to go through this. So what you want to do is basically, as we have here where it says rent, mortgage, you just fill in how much your mortgage or your rent is. So let's say your rent or mortgage is $1,200. You put it there. That's how much you're paying every month. Let's say your utilities is about $300. Let's say your food is about $500. Car payments $350. Car insurance is $100. Car taxes, if you divide it into a year, if you are in a state that has car taxes, let's say it's $25 a month. If you want to shop, you want to dress nice or what have you, or whatever, just buy an outfit every month, it's $150. Let's say $100 in cell phone and another $100 in just miscellaneous other stuff, right? So if you total everything up, right, you will have a total of $2,825 that you have to generate on a consistent basis, okay? Now, I want you guys to understand something here. This is a business that you're in. And like I always say, in order for it to pay you like a business, you have to treat it like a business. So just because if you're making $2,800 a month doesn't mean that you could take that money and pay your bills, of course, right? I mean, you got to pay your bills, but I want you to understand something. If you're doing paid advertising, there's costs associated with that, right? To acquire customers, there's a cost to that, right? So in order for you to leave your job, you may want to have a higher mark. So you might want to add in marketing cost of, let's say, maybe $1,000, $1,500 just to start with, right? And as you start going, and I call it the self-sustaining traffic strategy, where once you start to make money throughout your funnel, you can actually put money back in to your business, and you don't have to come out of your pocket anymore. All right, that was just a little side note. So I don't want you guys getting into $2,800. Let's say if this is your monthly cost, and quit your job, and you don't have no money to run traffic or scale your business. That's not what I'm saying here. But what I'm saying is, if this is your goal, let's say this is how much you have to net after your cost to run your business, then $2,800 $2,825 will be your goal. And what I like to do is I break it down even further. It's say, okay, well, how much I need to make a week, which was $706 a week, and then break it down into days, basically about $100 a day that you would have to actually make. So once you know that, now you just reverse engineer and say, okay, well, you have your Myecon, which is $35. So how many people you need to bring in a day? It could be 3 people a day, so forth and so on. But I'm going to show you guys the fourth key, which is really the most important key of them all. So that way you can actually make this $100 even easier. All right, so stay to the end for that. So once you have that in place, this is your basically goal, is to have that. Now what you want to do is you want to have your process in place, like things you have to do, right? And I always say a simple way to succeed is to focus on the process, not the results, okay? Because one thing that many newbies do, and I used to do it when I first started off marketing, was I used to always focus on the results, right? If I send out an email, I will send it out, and then I'll go to my computer, I'll refresh, see how many people opened it, see how many people clicked through, or if I'm uploading a video on YouTube, I want to see how many views I'm getting. I'm focusing on the results. Guys, listen, if you have a process in place, if you focus on the process, I guarantee you results will follow, okay? It's kind of like rain, right? If it rains, it's bound to be wet, right? It's a guarantee that it's going to be wet, right? So that's kind of like the same thing. So focusing on the process, having a process in place, and then, not really focusing on the results. I mean, yeah, you want to check to make sure things are working, but you don't want to fall in love with the results. You want to fall in love with the process. All right, now, key number 2 is build your audience, aka your distribution network, right? This is super important because this here is where the money's at. When you have a large audience, right? Let me break it down to you like this. Your income is directly related to how many offers you make, but how many offers you make is directly related to the size of your audience. All right? Let me break it down a little bit more for you. So most of you right now probably are on your 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, or even 10th business opportunity throughout the years, right? And so a lot of you, like myself at one point, I used to go around to the same people at work, the same family members and so forth, right? I would just, every time I got in a business opportunity, I would go to those same 10 or 20 people, right? And so my success rate was getting smaller and smaller and smaller each time I went to them, right? But just imagine if, your audience was like 5,000 people that you had on your email list or you had on a retargeting list. And let's say you built a relationship with them over time. Think about what your conversion rates will be, right? You will have a much larger conversion rate. And see, here's the thing, and I think Alfredo talked about this yesterday, is that when you have cold traffic, when you're running cold traffic, you have to understand something. Your conversions on cold traffic is really like slim to none. It's like 1%, they say, but it's really less than that. You have some hyperactive buyers, people who will see an opportunity and they'll just buy right off the rip. But most likely, it's a process that has to be taken in place, in which we'll talk about in the next key. But this is super important here, because if you build your audience and you invest in building your audience, I guarantee you, if you're consistent with it, you will have success. A lot of people are afraid to invest in their audience. And to me, guys, if you really are serious about building Myecon or any business, you have to build your audience. I don't care what it is that you're selling. You have to have, a large enough audience who really want what you have. Okay. So that is key. Building your audience is key. Key number 3 is create marketing systems. Now, this is how you put your business on autopilot. All right. Now, marketing systems is a must. And I'm going to share with you in just a minute, what I mean in the different types of, like, what do you need to actually create your marketing system, all right? But marketing systems automate the process, automate the relationship building, automate, everything to the conversion part, right? And so you understand something, guys. This is, like I said, once again, I'm going to keep saying it, it's a process, right? where marketing is not a sprint, it's a marathon, right? It's a consistent, steady flow of, building relationships with strangers. And basically, guys, all we're really doing, if I can really just put it in just one sentence, is taking strangers and making them friends. It's taking strangers and making them friends. That's pretty much what it is. That's how, people can convert over into, signups, or even companies. You know what I mean? People have to trust that you have what it takes for them to receive the desire that they're looking for, right? And so in order to build your audience, you have to create marketing systems. Now, last year, a friend of mine actually went to a seminar with a legendary, marketer, old school marketer. And he basically said that you have to actually approach 100 people a day, right? Or to, talk to 100 people a day in order to be successful. Now, if you really honestly think about that, I mean, talking to 100 people every single day, I mean, it can be done, but you got to think about it. If you talk to people, 100 people, and let's say you spent 10 minutes on each person, that's about 16.6 hours that you would have to spend talking to those people. Guys, there's only 24 hours in a day. That's kind of like crazy, right? And plus, too, I don't want to talk to anybody who isn't qualified, right? So I'd rather for someone to go through my funnel, right, my process, okay, and I rather for them to actually at least know who I am, like who I am, and then begin to trust who I am, and then I can close them on the phone, or I can close them on, Facebook Live or what have you, right? So that's why, having a marketing system is set up so you can put the whole thing on autopilot. Now, before I go into, telling you what you need to have in order to create a successful marketing systems, let me just illustrate this one thing to you. I just really want you to get this because this is so important. Like I keep saying, it's a process, right? You're not running a sprint, you're running a marathon. So what I mean is, let's say, for example, let's say you have like Joe, okay? Let's just name this guy Joe, all right? So Joe basically saw your ad, and he clicked on it, or maybe he was running solo ads or what have you. He ended up entering into your audience, right? Your email list, your retargeting list, so forth and so on. And Joe basically have a good job, got wife and kids, got a house, everything is just perfect right now for Joe. Just so happened you caught Joe's attention. He opted in. Now, let's say 6 months later, now you've been, following up with him on a consistent basis, sending emails, doing advertisings, retargeting him, so forth, building that relationship up, right? Giving value. And of course, you've been sending Joe, opportunities to join you or buy your products or what have you throughout these 6 months. But Joe really never paid you no mind, right? He was kept on going. He's good. But one day, Joe goes to his job, right? 8 o'clock in the morning, he's walking in with his coffee. He's happy. He's like, oh, it's another day. He gets to his desk and he sees that his desk is actually all boxed up. Then there's a note on his computer saying, hey, please see me in my office. So he walks in his manager's office, and his manager's sitting there with this kind of look on his face and says, hey, Joe, you know what, man? Unfortunately, we're cutting back. I have to let you go, right? Gives Joe the pink slip. So now here's Joe. He's going home. He's frustrated. He's worried. He has kids. He has a house. He has car payments. He has bills. Now, because you've been building a relationship with him for the past 6 months, he gets an email from you. Then he actually goes on Facebook and he sees you. And you say, hey, this is Cameron here, and you know what? I want to share with you tonight. I'm doing a live webinar, or I'm doing some training, or what have you. I want you to jump on. I'm going to share with you how I was able to generate $5,000 in just 30 days with this simple method, right? Now, Joe's intrigued now because his life circumstances changed. So that's the most important part that you guys have to understand, is that everyone's life circumstances change, but we don't know when they change. So having a marketing system set up, having your business set on autopilot, giving value, building relationships with people, turning them from strangers into friends is key, because now Joe is going to go to that webinar or go to that training, and he's going to really watch it. Now, this could be the same exact video you showed him 6 months ago, but because Joe was in a different little life little cycle. You know, he was good. Everything was all set. And he was like, hey, I'm good. I got money. I'm coming in. I got a job. But now he has no job, no income coming in. Now he's taking you serious. So this is the reason why having marketing systems is super important. So now you're probably saying, okay, you know, what do I need, right? Right? Do I need to create these marketing systems so I can put everything on autopilot, build relationships, and get conversions, right? Well, first of all, you're going to have to get a capture page. Now, what a capture page is just a page that you send your traffic to and you collect emails, right? Names, emails, phone numbers, you know, etc., right? But for the most part, you just want to collect just names and emails. And so basically, capture pages are definitely a must-have. The second thing that you want is retargeting pixels. You want to set up your retargeting pixels. This is key. This is a necessity. You have to do this, right? Especially if you're doing paid traffic and you're going to do Facebook ads, YouTube ads, etc. You definitely want to have your retargeting pixels firing in the background. Now, what a retargeting pixel is, so you understand, is a piece of code that's actually on your capture page that you own. Now, mind you, these are capture pages that you create, you own, okay? So that you can go into the back end of it and actually put these retargeting pixels in place. And then what you can do is you can show up more than once, right? So I have a strategy that I use with intent traffic. I send intent traffic to a capture page and then I retarget them on Facebook, right? And I get a lot lower, cheaper views. So you can actually set your retargeting pixels up. If you want, you know, if you want help or whatever, just inbox me. I'll show you exactly how to do it. It's not hard to do it. Secondly, you want an autoresponder. Now, autoresponders are basically like Aweber, GetResponse, MailChimp, and all that other stuff. Now, here's something that this is my personal opinion, okay? I'm not trying to say bash any system out there, but personally, I rather have my capture page software and my autoresponder separate. And the reason why is because deliverability, right? I want to make sure that if I'm paying for these leads, I want to make sure that my emails are being opened up, right? I don't want my to be buying traffic, you know, because those leads are costing you, and sending out emails and it's not getting to them, right? And this could happen with these certain softwares that have, you know, all-in-one, you know, you're building capture pages and autoresponders built into one. Not saying all of them, but, you know, it's a possibility that it could. You have problems, you know, your emails are being sent to spam. Okay, so that's the reason why I don't like all-in-one systems. I'd rather have my capture page separate from my autoresponder. All right. And then lastly, you want to have your tracking, right? You want to basically be able to know where your traffic's coming from, what's converting, what's not. So these are the tools that you actually need. All right. And in just a minute, I'm going to share with you, you know, the last key, which is the key, the best key of them all. So that, you know, all this works together. Okay. But before I share that with you guys, I just want to make sure that you are clear about, you know, what I've shared with you so far, because what I share with you is really, honestly, the necessities. So you understand, you know, you have your strategy, you have your marketing systems, you know, you have your building your audience, you have all that in place. But in order to do any of that and put your whole system on autopilot, you need these 4 tools in place. Okay. Now, if you need help with this, I'll be able to help you. As well, you know, create capture pages and everything like that, especially if you're on a really low budget. I mean, I've helped some people already, and, you know, they have, you know, their systems already set up. All right. Now, key number 4 is building out back-end income generators. Now, what does that mean, right? What is an income generator? Well, basically, it's just building out multiple streams of income, right? And what I mean by that is this. I'm not talking about, you know, having 4 different other multi-level marketing or 4 different other affiliate marketing companies that you're going to promote and confuse the heck out of your, you know, new signups, right? You don't want people to be like, okay, what am I doing? Am I promoting this? Am I promoting that? What am I promoting? You know, you don't want to confuse them. But what you want to do is you want to be able to have multiple streams of income that make sense. Like, for an example, let's say I go buy a suit, or you go buy a suit, and you go to the counter to check out, and, you know, the cashier says, well, you know, before we check you out and you buy this suit, how would you like to buy life insurance? Or, hey, we got some cool deals on some cars in the back. You'll be like, wait a minute, what? Like, I'm out of here. I'm not dealing with this. And you'll just leave, right? Because it's like, this is unorganized, right? It doesn't make sense. It's not natural. It's not a natural way of doing business, right? So what I mean is you want to basically have income generators that's going to help you to increase your what we call lifetime customer value, right? And that's super important because here's the deal, guys. If you're running traffic and you're paying for traffic, there's a cost associated with it. And let's say that cost is $20, right? Every $20 you spend, you basically get someone to come into your business. But if it's Myecon, right, and you're getting $35, yes, you're making $15 net. And if they bring someone else in, of course, you get the overrides and passive, you'll get the $25 and all that stuff. So, but that's not what I'm talking about, because here's the deal. I don't want to have to rely on someone else to bring me money. I'd rather have a system set up that's already producing me money, right? That's why I said to you guys before, like, if you want to hit $100 a day, you know what I mean? And let's say you're netting just $15, you got to bring in, let's say, what is it, 8 people or something like that, around that, you know what I mean? Just to basically make that $100 profit, right? So you don't want to do that. So what you want to do is you have other income generators on the back end, all right? And I'm going to share with you in just a moment, what I actually teach, show people how to do, and you could do the exact same thing. So that way, you could actually generate, let's say $3,560 for every 20 people you bring in. How about that? How's that sound, right? So, but before I show you that, I just want you to understand that this here is the most important part, because this helps you to scale. This helps you to get more in front of more people, to build a larger audience. If you don't have other income generators coming in, then you're not going to really grow, and you're not going to really grow quickly. This is the quickest way to build your business fast, by building your audience, because remember, your income is directly related to how many offers you make, but how many offers you make is directly related to how big of an audience you have, right? Really quick, let me just show you the power, okay, by creating income generators, right? Now, let's say that you brought 20 people into your econ business, right? Myecon Business, all right? So of course you're going to get the $35, right? If they are in your your base section of your Myecon, right? So you get the $35. Now remember, I told you that in order to have success, you have the tools, you have the capture pages, and all the other stuff, right, to be successful. So now you know this. So now you want to basically share this with others. So you want to set them up with their capture page, right? So the way I show people how to do this, okay, and I can share with you how I can, how I set up capture pages for people that will only cost them, $5 their first month and like $10 a month. And if you want to charge them to set it up or what have you, you can. But here's the deal. You can get a commission from this, right? Because they have to get hosting and all that other stuff, which you can set up, and I'll show you how to do that as well. But here's what happens. When you set up the capture page, you get an $85 commission. Okay, an $85 commission that you get every time someone sets up their capture page. Now, there's also a plugin that they would have to get, right, if they wanted to actually have a training area that they get, put all this training in and people walk, kind of go through it. Because remember, this is automated, guys. There's a plugin that they will get, and if they chose to get that plugin pays you a commission of $40, right? Now, like I said, they need some type of autoresponder. So the autoresponder that I use basically pays about $6 with a recurring of $6 a month. And tracking software pays $17 with a recurring $6 per month. So if I brought 20 people in, just off recurring, I would generate a like around $240 every single month for month one. Let's say I do that every single month. You know what I mean? So that will add up over time. So if you add up everything, and so it would be about $183 each person that comes through. Okay. Now, in a perfect world, we all know that 20 people aren't going to do it if you get 20 people today, or they might, you know what I mean? Who knows? So, so if you times that times 20, you'll actually generate, let's say this took you 30 days to do, or if it took you 2 months or even 90 days to do, you would generate $3,660 every time you do this. Every time someone actually gets what they need. And not even, you don't have to stop there. So, I mean, you can actually start to, promote other things that's helpful, like trainings. I know some leaders have trainings and stuff. So you can actually, basically get with them and become an affiliate so that basically you can get commissions from them as well. So, I mean, listen, guys. I know this video is a little lengthy, but I mean, I hope that you guys saw value. If you did, please like, share, comment, let me know. I mean, but this right here, these 4 keys is, number 1, creating your strategy. Number 2, building out your audience. Number 3, creating marketing systems. And number 4, building out back end income generators. In other words, multiple streams of income is key. All right, guys. So I really hope that you guys really, once again, saw value in this. And yeah, I just wanted to help you guys out. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me. If you want to get more information on how to set up your capture pages, if anyone's actually, needing help set up capture pages, just hit me up. Let me know. I can get you started. If you're on a budget, $5, what you would actually pay today, and then $10 a month or what have you. And I can throw in a plug-in or whatever for you, so you can actually do it. So you don't have to pay for it, because it's quite pricey. But anyway, guys. So yeah, that's it. And all right, guys.